My husband is mad at me because he walked in and he saw that I'm making breakfast, and I told him that this was for me and my daughter, and that if he wanted some, he needs to cook for himself. I told him I was not going out of my way to make breakfast for him. This is only for me and my daughter. Like, if you're that hungry, there's a McDonald's down the street, or there's eggs in the fridge and there's bacon, and you can make it yourself. He's acting like this not cooking for him thing is brand new. I gave him a list of things that I don't do the day that we got married, and he was okay with it. So what's the problem now? I told him, if you don't want to cook, you could wait and see if there's any leftovers. If there's leftovers, go ahead and eat. If there's no leftovers, then I'm sorry, you're gonna have to figure it out. But I am not gonna cook for you. So my husband decided to drain our joint bank account and leave me after so much controversy on my videos. So on my main page, I made a video about how I didn't want to cook breakfast for my husband because I didn't want to go out of my way from making scrambled eggs to making a fried egg for him. And I said that he could do it himself. I don't cook for my husband. I never have, and I'm not going to be starting today. I'm sorry. I guess he got, wind of the videos, and yeah, he drained our bank account, and he has told me that I have to leave. At first, I thought he was the one that's going to be gone and that I was going to be able to stay here. But he returned and he said that I need to pack up my things and go. I told him absolutely not, because I have children and me and my children are not going to be in the street. So I told him that he has to evict me. And the one that gave him this idea of leaving me was his birth giver. Yes. His mother was the one that gave him the grand idea to leave me after 15 years. It's honestly ridiculous and disgusting that this is even happening right now.
Hello, I am Antonio.
And I am Helen.
And this is Antonio and Hellene Diaries Podcast. All right, we are getting into this mess today. Yeah, so we are diving in, as you guys saw earlier, with this woman. She posted some time ago regarding her rules for being a wife and what she will and will not do in her marriage. And I think it's pretty crazy, like, to have these expectations that, like, you're not going to do anything for the husband. It's just only for the kids. And let's get into that. Okay, so
Let's jump in.
So first, she said she's not cooking from what we saw. She's only cooking for her kids. And if he wants to get anything to eat, he has to go to a McDonald's or something else to get his own food. I feel that is flat out wrong.
Okay. Just to play the devil's advocate, even though I don't agree with what she's saying, she did say that this was what she agreed on with him at the beginning of their marriage. Now, if you agreed, I know, don't look at me crazy. We both watched the same video. She said this is what she agreed with him at the beginning of the marriage. She said, I will not do your laundry. I will not cook your food. I will not even help in any shape or form. I'm just going to take care of my baby. And from what she is saying, because we can't hear what his side of the story is, he agreed to it before they got married. So now, why is this? Is it because he's been living with it for 15 years? They've been married for 15 years. And if we're going by her story, this is how she has been running her home for 15 years. Is there an issue just because she's saying it in public? That's where I am at. Because if that's the issue, then why did you stand this woman doing this stuff for 15 years, whether it's right or wrong?
I feel like in some cases, not all cases, but in some cases, when the either partner says, this is how it's going to be, or I'm going to be like this, in the other person's mind, they may think, well, it may not always be like this. And okay, I'm going to say yes to it now, but eventually she's going to warm up. She's going to change it up a bit. She's not going to be that drastic about it. So in his mind, he's thinking that, like, throughout the course of the marriage, at some point, she's going to like soften up and cook for her man or do things for her man or, take care of some portion of the household responsibilities, share some of the load, not put it all on him or only take care of just the kids. At some point, he was probably expecting things to change, but it got into a breaking point, and maybe, like you said, that breaking point was
15
it,
years later.
15 years later when it's being filmed now. Now he not only does he feel like he's looking crazy like throughout these years. Now he really is looking crazy in front of all these viewers and followers that now she put it out there, and the husband is now looking crazy for real because now everybody knows.
Oh, yeah. He was looking crazy from day one, agreeing to this. There is something you said, the catchphrase for everything you said was he thought that at some point she would change. While he is busy thinking, she doesn't know what, she's not a mind reader, so she wouldn't know what's in his head.
Mm.
This is stuff that needs to be communicated while they were getting married. She communicated clearly. She verbally, from her video, because we don't know if this is what happened, but from what we've heard on her side, she verbally said, hey, this is who I'm going to be. Now, if you think that at some point she's going to change, that's in your head. She is not privy to what's going on in the man's head.
Mm.
He should have been like, okay, how long do you think this? There's always a dialogue. We've been married, and you know how communication is very key. I don't, again, don't come for me, don't troll me. I don't agree with how she's running her home. I am just saying that if he agreed to it, then why bail out now? Because this is what you agreed to from day one. And he did it for 365 days the first year, and the second year, and the third year, and the fourth year, and 15 years later, now you have issues with it. That's where I have my issue. Like, it wasn't a problem until she put it on social media. Would he have continued to live that life if she didn't put it on social media?
Could it have been that he have been throwing it out there throughout the course of the marriage that like, he said, you know what, I know what you said and I know that, these are your terms, but like at this point, I'm feeling like I'm being left out.
We are hypothesizing now. We're hypothesizing because we are only judging from the information she gave us on the video.
We need to hear his side. Husband, if you want to, or ex-husband, if you want to get on Antonio and Hellene Diaries Podcast, get on our show so you can speak your truth.
Right.
Okay?
Because this discussion will not go anywhere without hearing his side of the story.
Right.
So we're going to put a pin on it, but it leads us into gender roles or chores in the home.
Mm.
Because that just opened a can of worms.
Yeah.
What roles are gender specific to either male or female in the household? For instance, I'm African. I grew up in Nigeria, and I remember when we were growing up as kids, my mom was teaching us, the girls, all the life skills, sewing, crocheting, cooking, cleaning, because she wanted us to be proper, you know, wives. That's what she was taught. So she taught us, bless her, she really did a great job. Hey, mama. However, I knew I was kept kicking against it then because I cook, but I didn't like cooking. And for a while I was in Nigeria and I was of age to get married, I remember if I meet a guy and I say, he says, what do you cook? Or what do you like? Do you like to cook? And I'm like, no, I don't like. He's like, what? You can't cook? I said, I did not say that. I said, I can, but I just don't like to cook. It was always an issue. It's like, oh, you're so arrogant or something. I wasn't the kind of girl you could bring to mama because I wouldn't just say, yes, I'm cooking and cleaning. I love to clean. Let's get that straight. It gives me joy to clean. But cooking for a long time was like, oh my goodness. I don't like it. So, are specific chores in the house made for male, female. In Africa, our culture demands that the woman does a lot of the house chores. In various places in Africa, there are women that would travel miles just to fetch water for the household.
Mm.
So now I'm talking to you being an American. When you were growing up, were there specific gender chores that you, for instance, carried out?
The main thing for me was taking out the trash.
Okay.
That is the main
It
thing,
still does that.
and I still do that. That was the main thing for me. In the house, growing up, I grew up with just women, myself, and my mom, my sister, and we grew up with uh, Niels, Antonio. You take out the trash.
Okay.
That was it. The women were not supposed to touch the trash. When the trash was ready to go out, it was me that was called to go take the trash out. And even when there was another man in the house, that man was taking the trash out. So I never seen a woman in growing up having to take the trash out herself because it just was a norm to me that men are supposed to do that.
So, yes, so that is a gender specific now for you. But what of a household, for instance, that doesn't have men and it's a mother and her two daughters? Well, what are they going to do? Somebody needs to take the trash out.
Well, I mean, in that situation, that scenario, like you can't help who is or isn't in the house.
Mm.
So in that case, the woman would have to take the trash out if she lived by herself, or if it's like just female roommates. Then I mean, who is there? Are you going to call a man to come over to take the trash out all the time?
All the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, but I mean, at this point, you got to do things yourself. Now, getting to that, since we are talking about doing things yourself,
Mm-hmm.
like there has been a lot of contradicting situations
Mm-hmm.
where women are like, first a woman would say, well, the man's responsibility to get things fixed in the household, or it's the man's responsibility to do this. I even seen a post that said where a man asked, well, can you cook? And the woman was like, well, can you build a house?
Ah!
You know, those are two completely different levels of provision,
They are both
of providing.
skills.
They're skills, but they're
They
two
are
completely
both
different
skills.
levels.
People go to school to learn how to cook, just the same way people go to school to get certified with
No.
taking care. And I know why he's arguing because in our household, should we go into it? Who does the house stuff? We have to do it together because you're not the most handy person.
I'm not the most handy person. I ain't gonna lie, because a lot of those things require either some special menu or YouTube, or
No.
or it requires certification and knowing how to fix certain things. And cooking is it's not just okay. Yes, you can get certification in
You
cooking
do get
if you want to be a
certification.
professional. Number one. Number two, cooking a is just live. It's what's the word? It is a basic living function.
Mm.
Cooking is a basic living function. No, that's something. It's home economics. That's something I learned in high school. I'm not even. Let's not even talk about the fact that I did go into cooking courses. As a cooking profession.
Yes.
So let's not even talk about that. Let's take that to the side. But in high school, home economics was part of basic life skills. You have to learn how to cook whether you're a man or a woman.
Agreed. I agree on that.
So
You both male and female should be taught how to cook
right,
because you eat. And as long as you're eating, then you need to learn how to what you're putting in your mouth. And you need to learn how to fix it so that you're not just eating junk. So whether you're a male or a female, I believe that's equal opportunity to learn how to cook and to learn how to clean.
yeah. Now, As far as building a house, that is extreme, people.
I
Come
don't
on.
think she literally means build a house. I think what she means is, can you change the light bulb? If the washing machine is malfunctioning, are you able to like dive in and see what's going on with it? If by chance the car breaks down, would you be able to change the tire? Or can you do an oil change sometimes? Or if the vacuum cleaner is malfunctioning also, do you have the skills to look into it and fix it without us having to like chuck it and buy another one? That's what I think, that's what I would be asking, not whether if you can build a house. That's a whole different kind of skill. Like you said, I
That's
agree.
very loaded. Like to then why not just say those things? Like building a whole house. So are we supposed to understand that's what that means by building a house? We are logical creatures, people. We are literal creatures. We can't like read through the lines or break down exactly the way that you just did it.
Yes, but also there are some men that don't come with those skills I just
That don't
listed.
come with the skills. Are the skills sold separately? Skills sold separately.
skill the skill that was sold separately. I was being cheap. I didn't get that. I got the discount. I'm kidding. It's not it's not discounted.
You wrote it. She said I was being cheap, people.
I was the cheap one that I didn't get the skill. Maybe if I had asked God to add that skill to him.
Mm, mm.
Sorry.
Wow.
But hey, it's worked for 12 years, so let's not go into it.
Just so you know, I can change a light bulb,
He does change the light
and
bulb.
I have fixed several things.
He hasn't changed the tire or done an oil change, but he does fix things. He has painted, he did paint our TV console
Mm.
and
moved
move
it.
it. And this stuff was heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, he does have skill. He
Ah.
has very, and he cooks. So that really covers it for me because when we were getting married, I told him I don't like to cook, even though essentially now I cook. Not that I can, but I cook now. But he said I literally learned how to cook so I can cook for my wife. So amazing, amazing man right here. That's what I asked for, and God gave it to me. but,
See,
but let's move
she did not get the discounted version of her husband, people.
She didn't. She's
Mm.
just kidding. She didn't. No, I'll be doing God a disservice if I say I got a discount. I got full price, amazing, one of a kind.
And I may not be able to change it. Well, okay, hold on. Let me backtrack. I can change a tire. I know how.
You do.
I just never have.
Mm.
And I don't always have the tools to do it. That's one of the reasons. Like you
The
need.
tools are supposed to be in the trunk.
It wasn't there. It wasn't in the trunk. Okay. It wasn't in the trunk. So I can change a tire. I have seen it done, and I have helped change a tire before.
Okay, yay.
So I can. If I had the tools, I would.
Okay, so when we do get a house now, and we are not calling on maintenance, are you able to learn new skills on how to keep the house going, or do I have to strap on a belt like one of those HGTV girls? I mean, I don't mind, you know me. I would gladly do that.
You know, that was another side of it is that women expect men to have a certain roles or do certain things, but then at the same breath, they want to be like treated like equals as the man, but doesn't want to do some of the men
I'm
things.
not one of those women that want to be treated as equal. I'm fine being treated as, a soft girl. I'm happy to be wined and dined and to be just passenger princess all over the place. I am fine with that.
But there are some women that are out there that are
Yes.
expecting both. You can't have both.
That's true.
You can't be expecting to for the men to do the harder things and then say, well, I should be able to get all the benefits that a man gets. You know, this may I make,
Ah!
but I'm just saying that if you aren't willing to do all the things that the man has to do, that you're expecting the man to do, you can't expect to get man benefits.
What if they are doing the things that the man does and still not getting the benefit? That's where some of the women are hung up on.
Well, then if they are able to do the things the man can do, if you can do all the laying the tile, doing the electricity, putting on the belt and everything, then I guess we better start making you a sandwich. I guess we got to make you a
Oh
sandwich.
my gosh.
Just like men expect women to make us a sandwich because we came home from a long day of carpentry and building and all that jazz. So if a woman can do it, why not?
Okay, well, put your comments below. Let's not open a can of worms that we cannot close. What do you feel are the gender specific roles or chores that men and women should do? And if you have kids, what are you teaching them? Are the men and the male or the female cooking or learning how to cook and clean and do laundry? Or is it just specific to either the male or to the female? We want to see what you have to say. So leave your comment below and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
Yeah.
Come on, people. Share this stuff. We want
Share
to
it,
keep this
subscribe.
conversation going. Also, I'm going to go on a different tangent, still on the same male female. I remember when I just gave my life to God and went into being a Christian, they added in another layer to the skills that a wife should have. And they always pointed us to Proverbs 31 that talks about a virtuous woman. And when I was done reading that chapter, I was like, oh my goodness, I am expected to do a lot. And it looks like all these dudes doing is sitting at the gates and having drinks with his relatives and friends. What are the roles if we are to bring religion into it or we're going to bring faith? Let's not bring religion because we're not religious people. We walk by faith. If we are to bring this under the light, God's light, how do we, what are there differences to who does what in the household
So
in the light of the Bible?
okay. So the Bible does speak a lot on women. We see that a lot. That not just the virtuous woman, but also we see that in most situations, the woman is in the kitchen. She's cooking. She's usually doing some type of of labor in the household. In the Bible, we see that often. Does that mean that like that's just where women are placed and that's where they are? Is that their place? Is that where they're just supposed to be in the kitchen or in the field planting or gardening or something like that? I don't feel that's the case. We have to remember as well that in the Bible, that in those times, and even not even too long ago, that the women were expected to have certain roles and stay that way. So we have to also remember, keep that in mind.
Are you saying that the Bible is obsolete? Because if you put it that way, you're saying in those times, women were supposed to have certain roles. In the Bible, Adam was cursed. They cursed the earth for Adam that, it's in labor he will toil. I'm talking about Genesis, I think Genesis 3, that it's in labor he will toil. It means that a man is supposed to be the provider. But what about homes where the woman is the main provider? She's the one bringing home the bacon, so to speak. And he is maybe a stay-at-home dad because they have little goobers, little babies that, they feel at that point he should be the one taking care of. Are they going against what the Bible is saying? Is that what you're saying? Because now you said it, so.
Okay. So I was making the point that, and I'm not saying that the Bible is obsolete. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that at the time, this is what was happening, and this is what was happening. As history goes on, the culture, we're not just talking about faith here. We're talking about the culture as well of the society. We're also talking about. Remember, this is also the Middle East as well. Where all these things are happening between Africa and the Middle East. So between those places, we know
Asia.
how the patriarchy is in those places even now. So it is, that's more cultural. Now, as far as when you mentioned about Adam and what was put on him that he will
Toil.
toil,
Yeah.
and till the ground. So men innately, and that may be drawing from Adam directly, that men innately are providers, like our
By nature,
by
is that
nature.
what you're saying?
Yeah, by nature we're the providers, coming straight from Adam. Because of that, what God has put on Adam, that was not only put on Adam, but every descendant of Adam, that we must be the one to toil or till the ground, which is be the provider, work, do the work to provide for the family.
Hmm.
So naturally, that has been in us, hence the Adam's apple. So that has been put into us to provide.
Hmm.
So when a man is working from home,
Not working from
I'm not working
home.
from home.
If
Sorry,
he's a
if he's
stay
a
at
stay-at-home
home.
dad, okay. If he's a stay-at-home dad, does he want to be? Maybe not, because he might not want to be a stay-at-home dad, because we naturally want to go out there and do something.
Listen, man, he has challenged all the stay-at-home dads. Please comment. I want to see all the stay-at-home dads say something here. Do you want to be a stay-at-home dad, or are you being forced or coerced to be a stay-at-home dad? We want to hear from you. And for the women that are, you know, wearing the pants and bringing home the bacon, is that what you really want to do? Do you want to work? Do you want to take care of your family? Or is it just circumstances that pushed you into doing that? We want to hear
Mm,
from you as well. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share
yep.
because it keeps getting juicier.
Yeah. And I also want to add that we are upcoming parents by God's grace. So by God's grace and mercy, we'll be parents ourselves. So our take on parents, we can't really say a whole lot until we have experienced it
Right.
ourselves. So so I'm not trying to backtrack on what I'm saying, but I just want to make it clear that this is based off of my knowledge or lack thereof
Right
on
now.
right now on parenthood. So, but I'm speaking as a man in the household, and as a man in the household, are men okay staying at home? Like for me, when we have our babies, of course I would love to spend time with my babies.
However, I see a but.
I would love to spend time with my baby. More than likely, while I'm away at work, I would not be able to. I couldn't wait. I can't wait to get home to my kids and my wife. To my wife and my kids. I can't wait to get home to them. But do I want to stay home and not do anything but, take care of the kids? We would just have to see.
Listen, this statement has so many holes. First, even just talking about the future, I've already been relegated to the background because he said, I can't wait to come and see my kids.
Well, that was what we were
Then,
talking about.
secondly, he said, do I just want to stay at home and do nothing? Listen, taking care of babies is not doing nothing. You have had to take care of, exactly, you had to take care of nieces, and you know just how hard it is when you have babies yelling, wanting one thing, or running around in circles, or just trying to put them to nap in the afternoon. It is not nothing. So if exactly. Yes, Neil. I'm going to say it before anybody says it. So if a man decides that he wants to be a stay-at-home dad, he's not just lounging around and playing video games and doing nothing because the kids are just going to walk themselves to the bathroom, make themselves a meal. There are kids. I've seen videos of some Asian kids that can do that, but it's an anomaly. It's not the norm. They will still have to do as much work. That's why people applaud stay-at-home mom, because it's a lot of work to be a stay-at-home dad or mom. So you're not just going to be doing nothing. What you mean is that you're going to be working without getting paid. That's what you're trying to say. So you won't feel good working at home without getting paid, because nobody pays stay-at-home parents for what they do. They do a lot. That's my take.
Okay. I'm not taking away from the fact that, yes, work, being a stay-at-home mom or dad is a full-time job.
It is.
I'm not taking anything away from that. That's not what I mean. So let's be clear. That's not what I mean.
Backtracking, I hear.
No. But what I am saying is, is the man okay staying home without doing the things he's passionate about? Let me make that clear. The things that he's passionate about.
We will have to continue this conversation. There's going to definitely be a part two, because I want to hear what everybody has to say. And please, we want to hear your voice, because we both can't just be sitting here and spewing our stuff. We want opinions, we want comments, we want expertise, people that have expertise in these things to speak. So don't be afraid to speak. This is just part one. We've just scratched the surface. We want to hear from you.
And if you want to get on this show, and if you want to join our podcast, whether in person or virtually, right now we are in Nigeria. So those who are here on ground in Nigeria, you can be happy to come join us. So we'll be happy to have you.
Very happy.
If you're international, feel free to join us virtually as well. And we would love to have you as well on our podcast. And we can have these discussions together.
Yeah.
And we
just put your email on the comments and say, I would love to join the podcast.
Or we'll put our email on the description, and you can just reach out to us by email as well.
Yeah, that works too.
Yeah. All right. So I believe that concludes our...
It doesn't conclude it. It's to be continued. But for today, we have so many questions that we need more comments. We want people to give us, give us your opinions, and then we'll do a part two of gender roles in the home. Who should play which role? Yeah,
because this is a loaded topic, people.
It is super loaded.
Yeah, until then, we thank you guys for joining our podcast and watching this episode. And be sure to check out the announcement or advertisement after this show. And we thank you guys for watching.
And check out our other podcast.
Yeah.
Bye.
A handbag is more than just an accessory. It's confidence. It's presence. It's the final touch that says who you are before you even speak. And that's exactly why I'm loving the Guillemets by Hellene handbag collection. Inspired by elegance, femininity, and bold sophistication. Guillemets by Hellene creates handbags designed for women who want style that feels timeless yet unforgettable. Whether you're headed to brunch, date night, church, business meetings, or simply owning your everyday look, there's a Guillemets bag made to elevate that moment. From luxurious textures and eye-catching details to versatile designs that blend fashion and function, every piece is crafted to help you stand out beautifully. Because fashion isn't just about what you wear, it's about how you feel when you wear it. So, if you're ready to upgrade your collection with handbags that are chic, classy, and made to turn heads, discover the elegance of Guillemets by Hellene today. Follow the collection online and find the perfect statement piece that speaks your language of style. Guillemets by Hellene, where elegance meets identity.